Have you ever wondered why the sun suddenly disappears in the middle of the day? Or why the moon sometimes turns dark or even glowing red? It almost feels like the sky is putting on a magic show. But there's no magic at all. It's all about the perfect dance of the sun, earth, and moon. Today, let's discover how solar and lunar eclipses happen. Welcome to Simply Wonder.
Simply Wonder.
If you've ever sat in a dark room with a flashlight, you've probably tried your hand at making a shadow puppet on the wall. A shadow happens because an object is standing in the way of light rays. When you put your hand in front of the flashlight, you're simply blocking that light from reaching the wall. Our universe performs this exact same trick on a scale that's almost too big to imagine. To see how it works, we can use a few household objects. Our flashlight is our sun, a globe is the earth, and a tennis ball plays the part of the moon. What happens when these three massive objects move around each other and cast shadows out in the pitch black of space? Everything we see during an eclipse, from the darkening sky to the red moon, comes down to a simple, giant game of shadows. Imagine the moon traveling in its orbit around the Earth. Eventually, it moves into a position directly between our planet and the sun. The moon blocks the sun's light, casting a cone-shaped shadow straight down toward us. Because the moon is so much smaller than the Earth, its shadow only appears as a tiny dark dot on the ground. We call this a solar eclipse. And because the Earth is always spinning, that shadow doesn't stay in one spot. It races across the surface in a moving track. If you're standing directly inside that moving shadow, the daytime sky temporarily turns pitch black. This creates a bit of a puzzle. The moon is essentially a tiny rock compared to the sun, so how can it block out an entire star? It's a matter of perspective. Think about holding a small coin right up to your eye. If you hold it at the right distance, you can use that tiny coin to hide a massive building. The sun is about 400 times wider than the moon, but it also happens to be exactly 400 times further away from us. Because of that perfect mathematical coincidence, the sun and the moon look like they're the same size in our sky. That's why the tiny moon has the power to perfectly mask the sun and turn day into night. If the moon orbits the Earth every single month, you might wonder why we don't have a solar eclipse every time the moon comes around. The moon's path isn't a flat circle. Its orbit is actually tilted at an angle. Because of that tilt, the moon usually passes slightly above or below the sun from our perspective. Most of the time, its shadow completely misses the Earth and vanishes into space. We only get an eclipse during those rare moments when that tilted orbit lines up perfectly with the Earth and the sun. Of course, the moon isn't the only thing casting a shadow. We also have to look at what happens when the moon moves directly behind the Earth. In this position, the Earth is the object blocking the light. Our planet casts a massive shadow that completely swallows the moon as it passes behind us. This is a lunar eclipse. Even when it's deep in our shadow, the moon stays visible. The Earth's atmosphere acts like a lens, bending a little bit of sunlight around the edges of the planet and washing the moon in a spooky reddish-orange glow. So during a lunar eclipse, the Earth acts as the giant blocker, plunging the moon into darkness and temporarily changing its color for everyone watching at night. These massive movements in space rely on the same simple shadows you see every day on your bedroom wall. To keep them straight, a solar eclipse means the moon's shadow is falling on us, and a lunar eclipse means the Earth's shadow is falling on the moon. If you plan on heading outside to see one for yourself, there is one very important safety rule to keep in mind. Looking directly at a solar eclipse can permanently damage your eyes. You must wear specialized, super dark eclipse glasses to watch the moon pass in front of the sun. A lunar eclipse, however, is perfectly safe to watch with the naked eye because you're only looking at soft, reflected light. You don't have to wait for the next big event to see how this works. Grab a flashlight and 2 different-sized balls tonight, and you can recreate the magic of an eclipse right in your own living room.
Simply Wonder.